Zander, do you play guitar?
I don't play the guitar, but my uncle does. But I do play piano.
You do? Do you read
Yes.
music?
Do I? Yes. Yes, I do.
You do? I learned to play piano later on in life. This is the best part of the interview so far. And
Yeah.
piano is a good thing to learn. Like I think a lot of people think when they get a certain age they can't learn anything new. Piano is a perfect one. Xander, I'm a fan of yours. I've been listening to you. I've been watching your stuff. I'm inspired by you, and I think you're super cool. And
Awesome. Thank you.
thank you for having me on here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining. And I got this because Uncle Jesse.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, I should have put some Uncle Jesse stuff. And do I have those guitars are from Full House? In the other room I have the couch that we used to sit on.
Really?
Do I have anything in here?
I saw one of the interviews that you were in. It was like the house tour, and I really like the Full House, like the house. Is that a cookie jar?
Yes. Yeah.
It
You
is.
want to
Oh,
buy it?
that's
You
pretty
want to buy
cool.
it from me? You want to buy mine or? I, th-
I
I
would,
think I think that's funny. You remember that was given to me by I think our producer Jeff Franklin, who created the show. I think one Christmas he gave that to everybody, and that's how it happened. Now, do you? So tell me, you watched Full House or Fuller House? Like, how old are you? 11?
I'm 11. Yes.
And when did you start? And when did you watch Full House for the first time?
The first time I ever watched Full House, it was like a couple of years ago when I was like 8.
Uh-huh.
So 3 years ago, and I started to watch it. I really liked it. It's very fun, entertaining. You know,
Yeah.
some jokes, and it's amazing. And I actually started to watch Big Shot like
Yeah.
the day it came out. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
And do you play sports or basketball or anything? Is that?
So I really want to sign up for basketball next year, but I do play football,
Okay.
hockey, golf, yeah,
Wow.
a bunch of sports. Yeah.
So you're an athletic guy. So you saw the show. And you said, "Well, I know that guy from the Full House, and I like sports and stuff, and there are a lot of girls on there." So you said, "I'm going to check out Big Shot."
All right. All right. So
Hey, so you're Canadian, right? From
yes.
Ottawa, and I think I've played there with the Beach Boys a couple times. That is a beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah, it's an amazing place,
Cold.
because the capital of Canada is there, and
Yeah,
I saw the Capitol building, and it was amazing, so it's
that's cool.
awesome.
And I saw your interview with Jimmy Kimmel a while back, and you had some issues with your heart, and that's all fixed up. And you had a lot of
Yeah.
operations, I think, when you were younger. Well, God
Yes.
bless you, man. That's cool. And Jimmy's kid's doing great, Billy, right?
Yes. I know. I
And
understand that you have a kid named Billy. Is he doing well?
he's doing well. He's taking a nap right now. I hope, because if he's not, he's going to be coming up here interrupting us. That's why I've got these big wall doors here. Um, yes, I have a 3-year-old son. It took me a while, but I do have one, and he's just the highlight of my life. He's just so beautiful.
Nice.
He likes to do bits and shtick. He's always, "Hey, Dad, look at this bit," and he bonks into the wall. And, "Dad, look at this bit. Dad, I'm working on a new bit," and it'll be like nothing. It'll be like, "Oh, that's not a bit. That's just, watch. Here's a bit, Dad." He's peeing in the grass or something. That's not a bit. That's peeing in the grass, and we shouldn't do that. you know. But it's maybe he's just a delight. I'm so grateful.
That's awesome. So I understand that your time is very valuable, and we only
It's not
have
that
two.
valuable. I mean, your time is valuable. Look at you. You're a big hot shot, Xander, with your podcasts and all your famous celebrities that are coming on here. Your time is more important than mine. So let's just talk about anything you want.
Well, is it okay if we start going into the questions?
Now you're pushing it. I'm kidding. Of course.
Okay. So I know your first professional role was when you starred in General Hospital,
Mhm.
but what was the path that you took to get to that point?
Well, yeah, my mother said that I wanted to be an actor from the time that I was, born to the time I made it to the nursery. I said, that's it, I want to be an actor. It was always what I wanted to do. And I was lucky because I think a lot of kids, unlike yourself, but don't really know what they want to do in life.
Yeah.
It takes a while to kind of, hopefully they get it, but just to have an identity of, hey, I'm a musician. I'm going to be a banker. I'm going to be an architect. I'm going to be a podcast guy. so I knew early on I wanted to be an actor, and I also liked playing music. I played music at the same time. So my parents, the best thing my parents did for me was that they never said I couldn't do it. And so that it was never in my mind that I couldn't do it. I was always gonna I was just gonna do it as sure as I was gonna, I'm gonna drink this juice right here. I'm gonna become an actor. And they were so grateful. I mean, they were so. I'm so grateful to them because there was no roadblocks. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't have an age, and I just did it. And I think that's a good lesson to learn. And also, I always think about now, like if I could go back and talk to my 11-year-old self, what would I say? And it'd be like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. Just keep focused, be a good person. Be very kind, be polite, be honest, be disciplined, and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine because I'm sure. Luckily, I didn't have any, too many outside distractions as far as like social media. I mean, that must be difficult. I mean, you're on social media. I saw you're on Twitter.
Yes.
Are you pretty level-headed about that in the sense of you don't let it get you down if people say something stupid or?
I mean, at the end of the day, like if somebody, I forget what that's called. It's like they kind of bully you on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
It's basically at the end of the day, like it's all good because like yes, it could bring you down, but it doesn't bring you all the way down. So it only brings you down a little bit, right? So you could just
If you let it,
keep
if
on
you let
going.
Yeah, keep going. I mean, look, who's going to say anything bad about you? But you just can't let it. You just can't let it. Permeate you. You have to just
Right.
keep your focus and go.
Keep
But it's
going.
if there's kids out there listening, I'd say, put blinders to that. Tune it out and
Right.
stay focused on the prize.
Thank you for that. So Full House has an incredible cast. You were the perfect Uncle Jesse, by the way. Did you
Thank you.
did you have to audition for that part, or was it like, or was that role kind of created within your mind because of your musical background?
Mm, that's a good question, Xander. Um, I believe. Well, I was doing a show right before Full House with an older actor named Jack Klugman, and Jack, one of his best friends, was this great writer and television mogul and creator who later became a very good friend of mine, Gary Marshall. I don't know if you know, but he did Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Mork and Mindy, and he did, Princess Bride, and a lot of great movies. What's the one with Juliet, Pretty Woman, and he actually, so when they were casting Full House, Gary had worked with Bob Boyett and Tom Miller on all those television shows. This is 80 years before you were born, and he suggested me for the role of Jesse. I think his name was Adam or something. I think I came up with Jesse because Elvis Presley had a twin brother at birth. The twin passed away, but his name was Jesse Garon Presley. So I grabbed that from them. And then our creator, Jeff Franklin, he was really the Elvis fan. I liked Elvis, but he had that in there. And I didn't have to audition, but it was funny because I remember they were screen testing some people, and they said, "Oh, well, could you come in and read, with them?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Do you mind going through hair and makeup and put a jacket, put that leather jacket on like Zander has?" I said, "Are you guys auditioning me?" They said, No. It's just a chemistry read." But I think they might have been checking me out because I come from the soaps, so I don't think I always wanted to be funny. I always wanted to be on a sitcom, but I'm not sure if they knew if I was going to be funny or not, and we're still not sure.
I think you are very funny.
You too. Where did that name Xander come from? Is it short for Alexander or?
Yeah, so it's short for Alexander, and it stands for protector of men. And
Okay.
yeah,
There's what is Xander's? Robin Xander's is the singer for Cheap Trick.
that's cool. So shows come and go. Some stand the test of time. Why do you think Full House is as appealing to kids my age as it was for my parents?
Another great question. Yeah, a lot of shows do go away by now. I thought Full House would be long gone myself. Um, but it's through all the trends, through all the decades, through all the different uh, you know changes that the world has made for the internet, all the different things that have happened over the last 30, 35 years. The thing that remains true through all of it is family and love of family. And what was interesting about Full House was, in the 80s, it was like the late 80s when we started it. Um, the unconditional family wasn't that prevalent, or people weren't promoting the new normal. Two dads or two moms or one dad, and so it was one of the first sort of big shows that showed that you can be in a loving, beautiful family, and it doesn't have to be mom, dad, sister. It doesn't have to be like that. And so as time went on, I think more and more families became, not the normal, what was considered normal. There were a lot of divorce and gay parents, and so everything just sort of evolved into kind of where we were at when we started a little bit. So I think it became more and more. And also it's just, you look at it and the styles are old, and I'm wearing old 80s clothes and my hair and everything, but it's just the love. The love never changes, right? Love is love.
Right.
And I
Never
think
changes at all.
yeah. The other good thing I always think about that show is that the kids, and I'm sure your parents would appreciate this, the kids never, they didn't smart off to us, they weren't smart Alex. They were respectful to us, and we were respectful to them. It wasn't like the kids, some of these shows you see, like they're running the whole household and everything. It wasn't like that on Full House, and I think that's part of it too. But magic has to happen. Chemistry has to happen. I don't know how. I've explained it as much as I could, I guess. You can't explain it really, right?
Right.
You have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have a little sister. Her name's Charlotte Elizabeth Zatolny.
Is she there right now?
She's in her office over there.
She has an office too?
I know. Like, she just got it this morning, and I wanted the office, but
How
she stole
old
it
is
from
she?
me.
How old is she?
6.
6. She has her own office. Go figure. And are your parents there right now, or are you just running?
My dad's right there.
What's his name?
Steven Zatolny. He
Hello,
played in the CFL.
What's that? Soccer? Hockey?
Football.
Football. Oh.
Football.
You'd think a guy like me who's playing a coach on a sports show would know something like that. I know nothing about sports. Well, there she is. Hi.
He says hi.
Hi,
What's your name?
Charlotte.
Charlotte. You're cute. And you have your own office, Charlotte? Can you translate
You have
for
your
us?
own. You have your own office.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Charlotte, do you watch Full House? Does she watch Full House,
Do you
Zander?
watch Full House? Yeah, we watched it in my bed a couple nights ago. We watched like 4 episodes.
Ask her who her favorite is on the show.
Who's your favorite character?
I'm not gonna lie, but my favorite character is Uncle Jesse.
Ah, you said the right thing. That's sweet. Charlotte, I'm going to send you a toy or something. It's very sweet. Charlotte, do you play any instruments?
Do you play any instruments?
No, not really.
Do you like your brother?
Do you like me?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a pretty smart guy, right?
Smart
pretty
guy.
cool.
Am I a smart guy?
What do you want to be when you grow up, Charlotte?
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I either want to be a veterinarian. I forgot how to say it, but and either a teacher too.
You're a veterinarian. I'll bet you could do whatever you want. I bet you'll do it.
He said you could do whatever you want. You're gonna do it.
Are you proud of your brother?
Thank you.
Are you proud of me?
Yes.
Yes.
You're a good sister. Oh, nice to meet you, Charlotte.
Bye.
Bye-bye. She's good. You might have to have her as your sidekick. Like
I know. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, you have like in the past and still now you play a lot of guitar and all that stuff. So you're quite a musician, and have performed with many musical legends. Being that you are a celebrity, being a celebrity yourself, is there still an awe factor? Is there still an awe factor when you performed with people like Dan Fogerty, Jimmy Page, Bruce Springsteen, and of course the Beach Boys?
That's John Fogerty, by the way. Yes, of course. I mean, yeah. I was at John Fogerty's, it was his birthday years ago, and he had a little band set up, and he said, come and play drums. Okay, I'm playing. And then Fogerty's, and it was a small party, like maybe 75 people, and Fogerty says, Bruce! I'm like, no way, Bruce. He came up. Yeah, I have an off factor for you today, in fact. I think it's important to maintain that, right? I always say that if I ever wrote a book, and I don't think I will, excuse me, but it would be called If You Would Have Told Me. Like if you would have told me one day that I'd be playing with Bruce Springsteen, or if you would have told me I'd be playing with the Beach Boys, or if you would have told me I'd be on Zander's podcast, I wouldn't believe it. You know, it was that kind of thing. But I have been so blessed in my life, so blessed, and I'm so grateful. And I have a great family like you do, and very supportive. And I write down every day. I have a grateful list, or a grateful flow, I call it sometimes too. Gratitude, and I just say I'm grateful for this interview right now. I'm grateful for the weather. I'm grateful for my son. I'm grateful for my wife. It's good to get all that out. But yes, I do have that off factor, and as soon as I lose it, I try to get it back again. In other words, like I have to, it's also part of that thing where you ever heard when they say be in the moment, be in the like be
Yeah.
here right now.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you can wander and not be in the moment, be thinking about what's next or this or that, and then you've missed that moment. So if you really put yourself in the moment, there's no way, for me anyway, in my life, there's no way that I could not be in awe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you had a very special relationship with Don Rickles.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
how is it that the two of you became so close? And there ever and was there ever a time when like just stopped telling jokes, like was not telling jokes? Because like me and my dad, we look at a bunch of interviews of him, and like the Jimmy Kimmel one with you and him, and he's like he was just never serious.
That's right. That's a great question. Nobody's ever asked me that. Like what the quiet moments, or the moments where he turned off and just he did have those moments for sure. He would we talked on the phone a lot, like almost like like schoolgirls or something, calling each other to gossip about whatever. So we would during those times it would be it'd be very not serious, but it would be it would have some weight, and we would talk about family and kids, and he went through his son passed away. His son died tragically, and the son was pretty young, and so yes, there were a lot of those serious questions. I mean, a lot of serious conversations, but a lot of them were not, and that was great too, because when if I was going through a rough time, or my mother passed away, I got divorced and stuff. He was always the one to call, and he would just no matter what would bring
Just
that
to
up.
like cheer you up.
Yeah. Why did you watch? Did you watch because of this interview, or did you guys watch before? Did you just think? Did your dad like?
We watched because I was interviewing Jimmy Kimmel, so we watched a bunch of his interviews, and
Yeah.
we saw you and Don Rickles. So that's where we found it.
Did you find Don funny? I mean, you're a young kid, but you know comedy certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can make anything funny, and I would always ask him because he never had a writer, right? So he would just come up with these jokes on the spot. But I'd say, how did you do that? How did you? Because I'm just doing Rickles. I'm just doing Rickles. And pretty much anything he said was, if he wanted it to be funny, it was
And
funny.
it was like it's so fast. Like it's not like he waits a little bit and then he goes, "Oh, okay, I got a joke." He's like, it's like that. Boom, got a joke.
You're right. And it was interesting because till the day he died, he was fast. Like his body gave out on him before his mind, but he was always sharp. If you study comics as I do, I love comic. I love stand-up comics. I love comedy because it's a science, right? I mean, a lot of it's almost mathematical at times. But when you study it, you go like, how are they so fast? What is it? And with Don, a lot of these guys, they have a Rolodex in their head, and they can access it quickly. He had more cards in his Rolodex, and he could access stuff faster than anyone else, and he said it funnier. But as much as I was around him and as much as I studied him, I usually knew where he was going with the joke, but then then he would just go whack it and go all the way the other direction, and he was just a fascinating man and a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul who was a great mentor and a great friend to me for many years.
It's an amazing story.
Mhm.
So Friday nights in the Zatilni's house is Big Shot Night. By the way, congrats on the successful show.
Thank
Each
you.
episode has a valuable lesson, which is great. Coach Korn seems so different from the real John Stamos. Are there any similarities, and did you learn anything from the character?
Other more great questions, Xander. Those are really good questions. Um, when I read it at first, first of all, the basketball part of it is, as I said earlier, God gave me a lot of very nice attributes, but athleticism was not one of them. I was never good at sports. I don't like sports. I was a band geek in school. I'm a band geek now. So doing a show about sports was a challenge. And then when I read it, I was like, I don't think I've ever played a character, first of all, named Marvin. Second of all, who people didn't like. I mean, it just was like, oh, nobody likes him. He's unlikable. He's not friendly. He doesn't have any friends. He has walls built around him. He doesn't talk. He's not. So I was like, well, why do they see me as this guy? And I went on to talk to David Kelly about that, and he said, because first of all, he said you as an actor can get away with more, what you bring to it, the career that I've had, and the I guess sort of the sort of the love or something that I bring to it. I could be a little meaner in the beginning and not be so unlikable, and that I could walk into a room and sort of command the room. But I have learned. I again, like I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's not me. But there's a lot of me in there. There's a lot of my dad. My sisters were watching recently, and they're like, you're doing dad. But I have been learning a lot from him. That's the thing, and it's weird because there are a lot of, as you said, sort of big life, important life lessons within basketball and being, obviously on a sports team and athletics. I saw you talking to Matthew McConaughey, who was talking about this, that there's great themes in sports that we could apply to our life. And the themes that I thought I knew about, I was like, oh, try your best. Yeah, I got it. But if you see it in the pilot, and I've watched it a bunch, and I think about it every day since then, I was like, Corn was like, try your best. That's all I'm asking. He wasn't saying, do your best. But I want you to look in a mirror at the end of the day and say, did I do my very best? Did I do it? Doing that, like, okay, let me see. Did I say, So I have been learning, and I'm, I play. What episode are you up to, Zander? You and your family, have you seen episode 3 yet?
For Big Shot?
Where my daughter comes to live with me, Emma?
Oh, yes. We're at the latest episode. We're like a couple hours after this. We're gonna watch it tonight. We're gonna watch the next episode.
Zander?
Yes?
Zander? Oh, there he is. Excuse me. Have you seen episode 3? Are you up to episode 3 yet? Where my daughter moves in with me?
Yes. In the hotel?
Yeah. So, you're saying, what did I learn? Now I have a daughter who I didn't know how to be a father. I didn't know. And so throughout I get to episode 10, and I have this beautiful speech about fatherhood. And boy, did it really teach me a lot about my own, ways of being a father. And he basically said, being a parent is about sacrifice and giving up your own needs for the good of your child. And you don't want a trophy at the end. You don't get a band. You don't get a ring. But what you do get as a kid, hopefully that's more loving, that's smarter, that's a more kind version of you, an echo of you. And I thought that was really beautiful too.
Nice. And Big Shot has an incredible cast. What is it like on set with the group of young actors?
They're great. They're just like you. They're fearless, and they're going out and they're taking on the world. So I learn from them, and their attitude, and it's fresh. It's fresh. Did that make any sense? They're all pros. Some of them hadn't acted very much, but boy, they just snapped right into it, and they're a lot of fun. The girls are really a lot of fun. And then Yvette Nicole Brown is fantastic. Jesselyn plays Holly, and she sort of holds the show down. And then my daughter, Emma Sophia, who's a brilliant actress, and I just love going to work.
So, one of the most impressive things about your role in Big Shot is you would never know that you had not coached basketball before. How challenging was that for you? And where did some of those unconventional drills come from? Like the tying of the shoes and all that stuff.
Yeah, some of that was written. But I didn't know anything about coaching, so I read a lot of books, John Wooden books. I studied a lot of video of like Bobby Knight, and there was a coach named Pat Riley who had his hair slicked back. I thought that was a cool thing to take. But the shoelace stuff, that was sort of written. I most of my coaching stuff, I have a couple of friends I met during this that are coaches, and I'll text them or I'll call them and say, what would I say in this scene? What would I say in that scene? My friend Roger Lodge has been a great help in that area too.
So, is it okay if we go into rapid fire questions right now? Which is your favorite Disney theme park?
I'd say Disneyland because it's the original and it's most charming.
Which is your favorite Beach Boys song?
Ooh, that's hard. I'd say God Only Knows. That's one of my favorite. That's a perfect song.
What musical artist would you like to perform with, or is there someone from the past who you would have liked to perform with?
Oh gosh, well that opens the whole thing. I'd love to, you know who I'd love to play with, and I've met him quite a few times. Is Elton John. I love his music. Elton, if you're watching.
Let's see here. Has the role in Big Shot inspired you to play more basketball?
No. And I have a basketball court in my house. I no.
If you had a chance to play the part of Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, or Brian Wilson, who would be the most fun to portray?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. Well, you know, I think I do the best of Elvis, but you know, I think I have that voice down better. Brian Wilson, he talks. He's like, "Hey, Stamos, hey, what you doing, man?" You know, he's cool like that. And who was the third one you said? Oh, Frank. Frank,
yeah.
He'd just be bossing me around. You know, Stamos, go over there. He was up. Frank was really pointing in pictures. If you ever see Frank Sinatra, I met him once, and he just was bossing the camera person around. Turn the camera this way, do that. Blah, blah. So.
And then, so we have one more. A few words to describe your friendship with Bob Saget.
Well, it's tough to do anything with a few words with Bob, but I would just say he's my brother, and I love him. I just love him. He's a good person and a good friend.
All right, so we came to the end of our podcast. Thank you so much for joining, and again, congratulations on the new Disney Plus hit Big Shot. And do you mind giving my teachers at St. Anne a quick "Have mercy"?
To your teachers?
Yes.
Who do we have names for them?
Okay, so we have Madame Kiminiti, Miss LeBlanc, Miss Curry.
Miss Curry, Miss Curry, Miss Curry. Have mercy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
and you know what?
cool.
That helped my grades a lot, by the way.
Oh, good. Yeah, we'll have them call me and I'll talk to them about that. But you study hard and be good like you are. You're an inspiration, and thank you for having me. God bless you.
Thank you so much for joining.
And tell Charlotte to, keep it together over there in her new office.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining, and we're going to leave and go watch the new Big Shot episode.
Thank you, Zander.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining. Bye.